Hello and welcome to another one of my hand history reviews. In this particular hand we're playing 6 max micro stakes. The first thing we should always do is look at the chip stacks. This is slightly above average stack. We're doing pretty good tonight. We are way above average stack. I'd call this a very large stack. Average stack, slightly above average stack, and average stack. We are in the big blind with A7 off, so let's see the action. Everybody folds the small blind. Who limps in? Pretty much with any 2 cards, if the small blind limps in, I'm going to come in for raise. Now I usually like to raise 4 big blinds. That makes him have to put in 3 extra big blinds, and that usually gets most small blinds to fold weak or mediocre hands. So we actually do make it 4 big blinds, and once again I should point out the VPIP of 44, the PFR of 28. This is very loose, semi-passive player. I probably should have made this larger. This player likes to see lots of flops, especially after 455 hands. These numbers are pretty accurate. So anyhow, we make it 4, and of course he calls. So what would be a limp calling range? Well, we're going to go ahead and give him a roughly 40% calling range. You may agree or disagree with this, but I have to assign some sort of range. I think with these cards he probably would have re-raised. It could be, you could say that because he is limp calling from the small blind, it could be even larger than this, but for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm going to go ahead and just assign this range. So based on this range, though, I should point out, we have A7 offs, ace of diamonds, 7 of clubs, ace of diamonds, 7 of clubs, and we're coin flip. The flop is 5-3-9. We completely whiff that. Now, a couple of options. We have nothing. I mean, let's be honest. So a couple of arguments. One could be just to check. We're done with the hand. We tried this, calling station, called. We're done with the hand. Well, another option is, well, maybe he completely missed this as well. If that's the case, we should overbet the pot. If we overbet the pot, we should do at least 10 big blinds, if not more. In hindsight, I would think it'd be best just to check and be done with the hand. In this case, we take a stab at it. 9. I don't think that's high enough. I don't think it's a wrong choice. I mean, we could be representing pair of 10s, pair of jacks. Heck, we could even be representing pair of 8s and pair of 7s that we were afraid it's not going to hold up. But I still think a larger bet would have been better. And our calling station does what calling stations do, and they call. So 5-3-9. 5-3-9. Was that correct? No. Okay, so for any action, we're a 41% favor. So we are way behind. But we bet and he called. So let's go ahead and assign a red flag to everything that would call that has us beat. Most players at this level like to slow play. You and I, if we had something, would probably protect our hands on such a kind of a wet board. But players at the micro stakes, they like to slow play everything. So with a straight, there are no straights. Would a set do that? Yes. With 2 pair, yes. With the over pair, Jack, Jack, 10, 10. I actually think the over pair would have raised. I might be wrong with that, so we're just going to unclick that. What about top pair? He might be scared I have an overpair, so maybe he would do that. 8-7-6, yeah, I think he would just check call. Middle pair, yes, check call. Second and 4-4, you might see a flop with that. Bottom pair, you might want to see a turn, not a flop, but see the next card. What about 2-2? I think 2-2s would fold. Would he check call with no man at hand? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say even bad players would fold. What about the flush draw? So now we're going to switch to green. These are hands that we're not beating, but we're not losing to. Flush draw, yes. Open and straight draws. All the gut shots. Gut overcards. I think he would still call with overcards. So we're going to mark the rest of these hands that we're not beating, but we're not losing to, and we'll click this. So if that's the case, we're down to 36% chance to win. This is not looking good. Although we are beating 55% of his hand, we're losing range, I'm sorry. We're losing to 45% of his range. So unless the turn improves, we are done. Well, that's an interesting card. Ace of clubs. So we paired our aces. This guy limp called, so the chance of him having ace is slim. So let's see what that does to change things. Ace of clubs. So we unclick this, and once again, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. This is Flopzilla. Flopzilla is an excellent program. It's worth the money. It is going to help your hand reviews, and I cannot say enough good things about this. That being said, it is beyond the scope of this short video to explain Flopzilla. There are a lot of great videos out there discussing Flopzilla, and I highly recommend you watch them. But for now, we're going to assume that you are familiar with Flopzilla. So once again, before any action starts, we're now a 68% favorite to win. So we're expecting to win 2 out of 3 times. What does villain do? Villain checks. We got to bet something. I mean, he could be slow playing 2 pair. He could be slow playing a flush. But if we just check, we don't know where we are in this hand. So we should bet something. The question is how much? That is a good question. I would say at least half pot. I would probably bet 2/3 pot. I mean, if he's on a flush draw, he'll call. If he already has a flush, he'll call. If he has 9s, 3s, or 5s, he should fold. Is that really what we want? I am not sure. Now that I think about it, I don't think a 2/3 pot bet is a good idea. I think a half pot is better. If he already has a flush, he's going to slow play and then donk the river. If he has 2 pair, he probably will just call. If he has 9s, he'll still call. If he has basically anything but an ace, he may call in half-size pot. So I think half-size pot is the best. Instead, I check. I think that is a mistake. If he was on a flush draw, we just gave him a free card. I know some people say you should pot control, but I'm now lost in the hand. I don't know if my ace is good. I don't know. I mean, I gave him permission to bluff the river. Checking definitely is the wrong answer. 3 of spades. So what would he check with? Well, basically, you would check with these things which have us beat, check with these things that we're now beating. So if that's the case, we're still 68% favored to win. We're still 92% ahead of his range. We should have bet. We really should have. But now the 3 of spades. 3 of spades changes nothing. If we were ahead before, we're probably ahead now. So we're now 70% favored to win. Villain checks. So obviously we need... Do we need to bet? I would say now, being that we checked on the turn, we should check behind. I mean, what is going to call us? Would a 9 call us? Maybe. Would an ace with a weaker kicker? Maybe. No, I think the best bet is to check. But we bet. Now, by betting small, I only have to be right. This is, fourth of the pot. So let's see, risk first divided by risk plus reward. So roughly 1 divided by, I only have to be right about 20% of the time. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but I think that was a dumb move. And of course he raises. Man, what does that mean? So what would he check raise with? What would he check raise with? Well, there are none of those. Check raise with quads, yes. Full house, yes. Check raise a flush, yes. Check raise a straight. I don't think he would, but there's none out there. Check raise a straight? No, I don't think he would. Check raise 3 of a kind? I don't think he would. Check raise 2 pair? Some of these guys are crazy enough to do that. So we'll give it the red. Check raise top pair. Some of those we're beating, some of those we aren't. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. What about a bad 2 pair? There aren't any. Middle pair. No, I don't think he would check raise any of those. So, based on that, we are losing. We should fold. Well, let's say the benefit of the doubt. Would he check raise nothing? If he check raises nothing, we're winning 60% of the time. So we are beating 60% of his range, losing to 40% of his range. Why would he do that though? I would say in this case the best thing to do is to fold. I mean, I've played this poorly. We should go ahead and fold. Even this crazy range. Let's look at this. Does he check raise often? Check raise total. 7 out of 39 times. That's not very often. Check raise from the small blind. 2 out of 15 times. Not very often. I would say the best thing to do is to fold. What do we do? And we call. And he had 10-9 suited. 10-9 suited. Was that even in our estimation? For some reason we don't have 10-9 suited in there. Well, in this particular hand, this is the right move. But overall, I think that is a losing move. I don't think I played this hand very well at all. We should have bet here. By not betting here, by checking, we gave him permission to bluff the flop. So, if you agree or disagree, please leave some constructive criticism on the bottom. I am an amateur, I am not a pro, so please keep it polite, and thank you for watching.